Well, so before we started the show, you were talking about, this is, I think, our 6th referendum in modern BC history, and you've been part of several of them, in fact. And in fact, I think this is your 3rd electoral referenda that you've been through. Any lessons from the previous ones that have helped informed how you're managing this one, or how this one's different? I think people might be interested, again, from your perspective as someone who's the neutral overseer of these processes. We're the first province to actually have a 3rd one. I think PEI might be following us in the near future, but some people, I think, roll their eyes why we have a 3rd one, but that's not what I'm asking you. But from your point of view, managing these, are there lessons that are transferable from the past in 2005 or 2009, and differences that are notable for this one for you?
Sure. So I think Elections BC, we really focus on lessons learned. We have a project management methodology approach to administering electoral events,
right,
and do full and detailed follow-up after each event to identify, what worked, what do we want to keep, what do we want to tweak, what do we want to improve, and what did we do that we didn't think was very effective that we don't want to keep on doing.
Right.
So there's lots of lessons that we can learn. I think that obviously this is vote by mail, so the greater lessons that we're going to apply are ones from the 2011 HST referendum, which was vote by mail.
Right.
And also from the 2015 transit and transportation plebiscite for Metro Vancouver.
Also a mail-in.
Also vote by mail. Yeah. And to be honest, we also learn from some of our American cousins who, there are states in the US that are completely vote by mail, Oregon and Washington and Colorado, for instance. I was down on a visitation to observe the last election. They have elections every year in the States, in Colorado, and saw some things around processes that we're bringing forward for this referendum to make our processes more efficient. We've incorporated a correction process. Sometimes people will forget to sign their voting package and they send it in. We're providing an opportunity through this correction process for people to correct that so that ballot can be corrected.
In the old days, that would have been called, what, a spoiled ballot?
The certification envelope wouldn't have been considered because it didn't meet the requirements of the legislation. So that's not to say that I'm encouraging people to miss things. Follow the instructions, make sure that you complete your ballot correctly and sign your certification envelope, put your date of birth on. But there is that process, and it's an example.
Sure, go ahead. Yeah. Well, that's good to hear. I guess there'll be lessons for the next future general elections from this ballot process too. So we've only got about a minute or so left, but maybe, what's your #1 request or advice to voters who may be watching this show? It's September. We've got a few months to go. The voting will be starting in late October, running through the entire month of November. What advice, besides making sure they fill out the forms all correctly, but in terms of what?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I'd say there's 3 things that I talk about. One is right now, get ready. So get on the list if you're not registered. If you have moved recently, contact us, update your information. We want to make sure that the voters list is as up-to-date and accurate as possible before we start sending packages out in October. So that's the first thing.
Yep.
If you've done that, then get informed and participate. Cast your ballot. When we send them out, mark your ballot, participate in this democratic process. And then the last thing I would say is if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us. Reach out to us. We're going to have a contact center available to answer questions to the public. We have a campaign finance team that's ready to answer questions from those participants. We want to help make the process as easy as possible for all the participants.
Well, thank you very much for being here today. We really appreciated your information, and that wraps up this show of Voting for Change, BC Electoral Referendum 2018, and look forward to seeing you again next time. Thanks again, and thank you.
Thank you.